All right, so welcome everybody to a new series on my channel. I'm Colonel JJ, and I will be going through recorded games of a tournament that was hosted on, I believe it was March 5th, 2023, online for Age of Mythology called KeeN's Map Masters Expect the Unexpected Tournament. And it's part of their Extreme Turbo Series, Tournament 2. Man, this ad reminds me of like a energy drink poster. A lot of stuff going on. It says get your own graphics on the bottom, and I just stole it and used it anyway. I just saw that. Oopsie doopsie. Um, I did make the background map of sudden death. But anyway, we're going through round one, which is best of one. Sudden death, random god. This is a double elimination tournament. So you lose this match, no big deal. $100 prize pool. And that's it. So we're going to see how many of these round one games we can get into. First, let's show the bracket. You should be able to see the bracket and me. And this is our bracket. A lot of good players here. I believe they were just randomly seeded. And there is double elimination. So yeah, obviously with these settings, there's some randomness. Like even Nomad is a map we'll see later on, which that's okay. Randomness is cool. If you lose twice to randomness, well, then it just wasn't your day. Uh, so be it. But yeah, double elimination. We'll see how many games I can get into. But yeah, we're going to start probably from the top to bottom here. So we might see Soup versus Help Ravage first. So that note, let's just get into our games. And we shall see. You guys should be able to see the game. Should be able to see my save game folder. And I need to find where it got saved as. KeeN Master Tournaments. Map Masters recorded games, main bracket. Man, look at this. This is set up so nice. Mr. Flame. What a guy. Yeah, look at this. How come this game is twice though? I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one is just not numbered. I'm confused. Well, whatever. We'll go into this one. Somebody tell me if you know. Why is there two? Yeah, I know Redo didn't play round one. That's just a bot, but he loves me. All right, well, let's just click this game and see what happens. Game number one of this tournament. So, alrighty. Sudden Death. If you don't know what Sudden Death is, really cool map. I love it. I love maps like this. This is awesome. Sudden Death is a map. There's only one town center per player. The town center is the Citadel, which gives extra 10 population. You also start with all of the tower or building, I guess the building hit point technologies, masons, architects, fortified town centers. So buildings are super strong, hard to rush. So the Citadel gives you an extra 10 population. These tents here, each player gets 4 tents. Gives you an extra 10 population. Uh-oh, gotta watch out his villager here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 extra population spots, but then you don't have any extra town centers. So you max out at 170. And some Pharaoh scout battle here. But the other thing about this game, or about this map, is that if your town center dies, gets destroyed, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to rebuild it or you're automatically out. That's where kind of the sudden death aspect of it comes into. And that kind of creates some interesting gameplay where you can try late game to go gangbusters on the town center, get it down, keep it down with the help of probably god powers, and win the game, maybe steal a win. But with all the upgrades and the fact that this dude is Hades, which gives him an extra 900 hit points on his town center, which is maxing out at 6,480 hit points. I don't know if you're ever going to kill this thing. So you're gonna have to win elsewhere against maybe a Hades, which is dominating the side of the map and cutting off trade route. So Isis versus Hades, 6,480 hit points to 5,580 hit points. Isis, one of his bonus, her bonus, is monuments block god powers, so that was very good in this matchup as well, because no earthquake on this, no underworld right next to it. Very good. Very good. These two gods here that they got randomized into, Hell's Ravage with Isis and Soup with Hades, incredibly tough gods to win by killing the Citadel. So then you ask yourself, well, how would you get the advantage on here? Well, because there's only one town center, alternate ways of getting civilian units is very important, which is the water on this map. The water is pretty goofy here in regards to how the fish spawn. They're kind of random. There's supposed to be 3 packs of fish on each side, but it doesn't necessarily happen. So you've got 12 fish over here and 6 fish over there, which makes this side of the map super important, this side of the water. And this is where the game can be won or lost pretty early on, is if someone gains one side of the water or both. There's no way for the other player to keep up with villager production economy. The only other way around that is to get an early trade route going, but if you don't have the fish, the food to support your trade route, how are you going to get that started? So water is very important. You need at least one side of the water or some sort of cheese strat where you're able to win without getting the water. But you're not going to get a cheese strat to win against an Isis or Hades, because you're not going to get the town center down. There are some ways. I mean, you probably could make a wonder. I don't think wonders are banned, so that would be kind of you throw your wonder right next to your thing. But if you don't win the water, how are you going to do it? Another way that's really, I think we'll see some of this, is getting a fast Titan. Because a Titan, even if you're losing everywhere else, if you can get a Titan out first and keep the opponent from getting a Titan could sit on the Citadel for that probably 3 minutes, a minute to kill it, 2 minutes to keep it down, and then you win. So I could see some fast Titan rushes going on, especially maybe as an Isis, but you need to get a hold of the water. So this early water here for Soup, with the initial pressure here on the water, is very important. We have a very slow age up for Hells. Yeah, he's getting a 6-minute age up. That's the other thing too. This water is very bad as far as the fish. It's a long walk. There is potentially some room for almost going for a quick age up without water. You can get a 430 hunting dogs with your starting hunt and then just fight water with that. But Hells is going to have a very hard time with his ridiculously slow advance of keeping any control of water. Here we have Pestilence for Soup, which would hit all 3 of these docks, and it seems to me that Soup's already got this side of the water won, and that's not good for Hell's Ravage. Him going Bast is pretty standard because he's Isis. Is Hell's making boats? He is not. The priest here looking to be the sole defender. Water. Okay, so Hells is going on this side, which kind of stinks for him because he might not know. Well, he does know. He does know that there's only 6 fish on this side and then 12 on this side. So You really want to win this side of the water. Otherwise, on the map itself, the hunting amount on this map is not super great. There may be some boar somewhere. Nope. So we've got a starting pack of deer that had already been killed, and then a secondary pack of deer that have now been killed, and that's it. Yep. There seems to be, oh, okay. So this map is an older map. It came with the game and hasn't had some of the refined changes that some of the newer maps have had. This hunt pack here is actually Hell's third hunt pack, but it's basically right in the middle of the map or slightly closer to soup. So that's a little bit, stakes a little bit for him. But oh well, gotta live with it. It's part of the fun of the maps, you know. A little bit of randomness, random god to a random map. Not a lot of goats. Hell's is going up heroic age here. You know, an Ancestor's Eclipse. Oh, losing the Sphinx though. You could do an Ancestor's Eclipse on the base, kill a bunch of villagers. Or he could be trying to do a fast Titan. He doesn't have enough food though to make it, because he's still going to have to go up with Mythic and potentially Son of your Secrets of the Titan. So he's not going to get that, not with 3 water, 3 fish. The one and only boy, yeah, right on the roof. Are you a fellow TOAO or just a big TOAO fan? Man, the one and only clan goes back a long ways. Much better clan than KeeN clan. We just don't have the time to host tournaments. Only got hand axe. Got pickaxe, hand axe. Those Ravage upgrading his priests. Oh, what are the relics? This one is like hiding in the map. There is a relic here that makes myth units cheaper. And there's the Fetters of Fenrir that makes villagers able to kill animals in one shot. So these 2 god powers are useless. Or not god powers, relics are useless. We have a monument. We have Migdal Stronghold coming up. Kind of wonder what else his plan is here. Looks like he's trying to do just some standard map aggression. But he's way behind with just three water spots compared to 12, 15. I mean, at least move, you know, get this Leviathan over. Just a long time viewer. All right, well, nothing. I know just about that. Very important. Not Poseidon, it's Hades, which makes killing this town center almost impossible. So this makes no sense to me. This siege tower. What's he gonna do with the siege tower? At any time here within the next 20 minutes. There's no point of making siege towers. Ooh, deleted the boats here. Why would you do that? As soup. Why would you delete your boats when you're not nearly at population max? Like really, because there's only one town center. With only there being 2 boats here, Hell should just redock. It would be so good. Chiron will come down and get on the Leviathan, help out a little bit. We do have Ancestor's Eclipse still. Boy, you'd love to save the Eclipse though for a... You would love to save the Eclipse for like a Titan later on. Yeah, I'd like to see some docks snuck up there. Yeah, why empower this? Why is he empowering it? And why is he making these to begin with? What are you going to do with the siege tower? I guess it's a tank. Maybe he's going to move it up here. And then I'm going to look stupid because he's going to get some use out of it. Because the Leviathan got killed by Chiron. But you're not going to push anywhere like the base with the siege tower. Like your Ancestor's Eclipse push isn't going to do anything. There's 3 gold mines to start in the base. So like the initial early map control doesn't really matter. Like your classic Ancestor's Eclipse push with Isis doesn't really matter here because map control doesn't matter in the first 15-20 minutes because you've got all the gold you need as long as you have your fish, which Soup does. What does he really care if he gets pushed into his base? Could get a chariot raid on these 3 villagers. Raiding is important. Oh, you gotta run in though. You might kill it anyway. What I'm talking about is he fired with the chariots at max range, which makes them miss a lot of shots. We now have Ancestor's Eclipse being used once he got forward. So this will do some damage here. This isn't actually a fight that Soup wants to take. Don't lose your Scorpion Man, though. Oh. Why? Cells does get on this hunt. That's nice. Run these guys up. Do some damage. That's a lot of resources that Soup is losing for no real reason, but he's still way ahead in economy, so he can afford it. As long as he doesn't suicide the rest of these units against all of these minions, he should be okay. These guys are some very brave villagers going over there. What's the hunt? Ooh, not the hunt. The wood lines, though, for Soup are a little bit rough for him. This is one wood line. This is another wood line. Hades does have access to the Colossus, which is through Hephaestus. But yeah, now the push is done. And you don't want to lose both of your Scorpion men like that. And now we've got all these siege towers. I just don't know what they're going to do against Hades buildings. I just don't know. Pharaoh Fusaki is out of position. You trying to spam me bogus links in chat? Nice little army here, actually. Though I'm actually a little surprised that Hells has been able to afford all of this. He's even got heavy camels. And now his 3rd Scorpion Man. Man, it would have been so nice if he wouldn't have lost his first 2 Scorpion Men. Camels in on the Toxotes. That's nice. You need your Scorpion Man. So, see, like, if you had a couple more Scorpion Men, they would really do work against these heavy Hippocon. But this was another nice fight from Hells here. Which I kind of question why Soup even did that. Isis camels are underwhelming. They aren't a very good unit. Who's it? See, Hells lost a lot there. Soup lost a lot. But Soup has all of this fish. Does he have Persign? He does. Oh, he didn't get the heroic age upgrade, though. That's a bit rough. Does Hells have it? Hells doesn't even have any fishing upgrades. That stinks. Losing his 3rd Scorpion Man. That's some underwhelming unit micro there. The managing of, or mismanaging of the 3 Scorpion Men. Because that's kind of your bulk of your... That's your meat shield. That's what keeps the Hippocon off of you. Although there's so few Hippocon, it doesn't really matter right now. But yeah, just push those back a little bit, heal them up. But this early aggression has gone well for Soup. Soup's kind of misplaying this, I would say. Because he knows that he has the fish advantage. 12 to 3 / it was 15-3 for a while. So he really should have just stayed in his base, not pushed out there, and just gone up Hephaestus. Because Plenty Vault is so big in this situation because of how limited you are in getting more and more villagers. Your Plenty Vault gives you a rough estimate +9 villagers gathering for the rest of the game. So really, instead of fighting this fight and keep on losing units, should have just walled up, stayed in his base. He doesn't need to go out because he's got all of these gold mines. He's still got 2,000 gold in his base. He could be in Mythic by now with Hephaestus. And I question though whether or not we have enough cavalry from Soup to win this still. There's only 3 Hippicons here. There's 2 left. Oh, we got some more coming. Okay, now the chariots are in a bad spot. And another bad thing. The retreat out is gonna hurt so much. Oh, that's rough. The difference between Ra Migdal units and Set/ISIS Migdal units is so huge, because the huge thing with the Ra chariots is that they're above 5 speed, which means they can avoid archer fire. The ISIS ones can't, so when they're retreating out of there, every single Toxotes shot hits, and that's so much damage. So that was a good catch by Soup there. I was kind of wondering maybe we didn't have enough cavalry, but there's more coming in, and then Hells without having his Scorpion Man mass, because he has kept losing them over and over. He can't hold against all of these Hippicon. The Hippicon with just 1 upgrade have 32% pierce armor. A lot of hit points. They tank a ton of damage from the chariots. And this fight is looking pretty grim now for Hells. Pharaoh number 2 is back. And gone again. And now Soup is now pushing forward. So in the end, the heroic push out is going to work for him, and that's just going to be it. GG, just like that. It kind of turned seemingly very quickly here, but Soup had the heavy advantage all game because of the fish, and he took a couple bad fights. Once he coaxed out the Ancestor's Eclipse, it would have been best for him just to stay in his base. He made it a little hard on himself by coming out too early the second time and losing his army, but then he again was able to replenish his army and then took a nice fight against too many chariots and not enough other stuff. And all resources total shows that in the end, Hell's actually caught up. He canceled some resources here, didn't he? There's no way he had this uptick in income. So he's still behind, but this is, I mean, you're going to be a little bit behind as Egyptian, but not having access to the fish really hurt him for so long. Hell's had more fishing ships, but they were idle, so yeah. Kill death ends up being about the same, just too far forward with slow ISIS units, and then Hell's could have and probably should have, instead of keep on going forward, he kind of got himself caught out. Put up like 3 towers here, take control of the middle, and then just stall to the late game. Yeah, Scorpion Men are great units in this situation, but he just kept losing them over and over. You are correct. Did not pull back. Yeah, this fight, if he has his 4 Scorpion Men here, he probably wins it because there were no heroes. Though you could say if he has 4 Scorpion Men, then Soup would probably have heroes, so it wouldn't really matter. But yeah, losing those Scorpion Men and the Sphinx early on was pretty big. So that was the first game of the tournament. Pretty more of a straightforward game here. Not something too crazy. A little disappointing. Would like to see a little bit more wild stuff, but we're gonna move on. So yeah, all sudden death tonight. We're gonna move on to the next. These are all this first stage of the tournament, best of 1, double elimination. So we move on now to the second game, which is, again, we got random gods here. Set for Chemo. We've got Chemo here against No Atlantis as Gaia. Set versus Gaia on this map. Just a very interesting map for Gaia. The Atlanteans get kind of hosed here a little bit because of how long the walk is. It's a very long walk to get down here. But No Atlantis is fortunate. Is again our fish spawned lopsided, and the right side of the map is worth more than the left. And what did Chemo use vision on? Very strange vision here. I guess he wanted to get get animals to convert. I probably would have used vision on water or just saved it altogether. Though Chemo might not know about the fact that, probably not, that the fish spawns lopsided. So like you could use vision to try to see which side has more fish. Like to save it. But yeah, sudden death. You get your 4 tents. Each tent gives you +10 population. They can be destroyed and not ever rebuilt. You start with your citadel. You start with all your building upgrades. A little bit of hunt. Chicken. Some cows. 3 small gold mines. And Chemo. King Chemo. A tournament regular. Very good player. If you don't know who Chemo is, you probably just haven't been following Age of Mythology. But Chemo from France plays very well. Typically is a Ra main, but over the last couple years has moved on and played other gods. He's won several tournaments playing Ra. Quite a handful of tournaments over the last 4 years. It's kind of been Chemo's domination for a while. Though hasn't been winning quite as much lately, but still very good. The other player is No Atlantis, which maybe you have not heard of No Atlantis, who kind of got lucky with his deer next to his dock. That's nice. No Atlantis is maybe a 1700, 1750 player. That's Voobly rating, which would probably be 2000 plus extended edition. He's decent. Has played some tournaments. Not usually at the skill level of your tournament players. Your tournament players are top of the line players who, you know, your 1900s. And if you're 1700, 1750, you're going to have a hard time winning those maps, those games. But No Atlantis is typically a Chronos player. So Gaia is you got fortunate getting Gaia. And I don't think Gaia is bad here. Gaia should be able to win one side of the water because the Egyptian is going to be very slow here. Chemo, this wood line here is so atrocious. Look at it. Wow, and he's sending villagers to this hunt. That is not good. It's so inefficient to go to, you might as well not send villagers there. It's so bad. This is going to get him like a 6-minute age up, which should give Atlantis. Atlantis should win this side of the water. And that's going to give him a very substantial advantage going into this. Also, very good 9-pack of fish right next to this dock. This is a very good start, just based on what's going on right here. And the fact that Chemo kind of struck out docking on the left first with some pretty bad fish. No Atlantis should advance up so much faster than Chemo, and should be able to win this side of the water courtesy of Oceanus. That's why I'm not against Gaia here. You might say Atlantean is bad on this map because of the long walk, but Oceanus with the Carnivora and the Servant. The Carnivora is a god power that you can use on water. Or land, but water is very good for an insta kill on boats and also killing a dock. No Atlantis should win this fight, which won't even be a fight because Chemo isn't even up yet. It won't be up for at least another minute. Should be able to stop this dock, should be able to kill this dock with the Carnivora, and then No Atlantis is going to have this side of water for free, almost. Getting per sign already, so he's very confident about what's going on over here. And get on this villager, don't let this dock go up. No. Oh, this is the small mistakes. These are the mistakes that your less experienced player will make that can cost him the game. We'll get the Carnivore on this dock, but like this dock should not have gone up. Should have prevented this dock, and then he's only got one dock to kill, and it's just a free win on water. So small things like that can really make a difference. Another thing too is probably don't cast the Carnivore on water because the dock can shoot at the water Carnivore, but not the one on land. Probably, and I think just put that too. That's another one here because Chemo's having a slow advance. It's another below 6 or above 6 minute advance for an Egyptian. But yeah, yep, you're right. And see, now this is the downside for what happened to Atlantis is he should have been able to win this side of the water with like 2 biremes. That's it. That's all he needed. 2 biremes and he would have won this side of the water. Instead, he's had to make 6, which is some wasted resources into this. It's not the end of the world. Chemo's trying to get per sign, it looks like, and is just going to get this side of the water. Dinior? I don't have a problem with no contestation on the left side. Assuming that your no Atlantis. Oh, we snuck some docks over here too. See, these should not have gone up either. This is again what I'm talking about. You're a player who just less experienced, less skilled. It's mistakes like this that can really haunt you, really set you back. The water should be his already. And yes, Gaboth, also architects. But anyway, what I was interrupted myself. You don't really need to fight this side of the water, because when you consider the amount of resources that Noah Landis would have to spend to come over here, build a dock, build some boats to pressure, you almost wonder, is it worth it? He thinks it is. I would say it might not be, especially if you know that this is a side of the map that has the more fish and this side is less. You could just kind of, if you win this side of water and you know you've got more fish, what's the point of fighting over the worst side? It would just be resources maybe to just drop into the bottom of the lake, literally, that would be better off. Right. You're right, but Egyptians should be able to hold this. So, theoretically, if Chemo would respond appropriately, No Atlantis would have, in order for No Atlantis to win this side of the water, he would have to overcommit. In which case, it would be better for him to go heroic age, because this is another thing about Gaia that I was thinking about actually before I even streamed this, is Gaia has, with the channels upgrade, which makes civilian units move faster, Gaia has access to Mythic Age trade caravans in heroic age. So to me, the play here for the Gaia is to win one side of water, hop up to heroic age, put up a market, stay in heroic age with your market, trading, and build an army in heroic age. Maybe he's doing that. He's going up Rhea. The Nephthys could be a little scary, but it's only set, so it doesn't matter. The pressure's okay. I mean, No Atlantis is in a decent spot here. He does not know about the 3 fish over on this side. And now you got a Leviathan over here again. I mean, you don't know which side of the dock was docked first, but the Leviathan makes all of this even more hard. Oh, see, I don't like this. No Atlantis is trying to be aggressive. That's not the play here. He's in a decent spot. Take your advantage. Get some caravans out in heroic age. Get a really nice economy, because the set player isn't going to kill you anytime soon. Your Gaia set doesn't have a super strong attack. You've got all the upgrades on your town center. Nice trader, though. I do like the trader and the Scorpion Man. You've got... Oh, Alt-S him? No, Alt-S, you can finish this. Get it. Okay, get in. Hide. Okay, alright, nice. Yeah, we don't need to see the pressure here. Oh, this Pharaoh Chronosaurus Rex. is so close to being dead. And oh wow, let's just waste all of our units here. Well, towers only have 5 track rating to begin with, so Gaia caravans do dodge them. Crenellations gives them too high to dodge. You would never be able to dodge crenellation towers. I mean, never. I mean, not any unit that normally exists in the game. But yeah, this pressure does not need to happen because what the risk is, Atlantis' risk here is that he overcommits and throws resources into a town center that's got almost 6,000 resources. I mean, what the big thing here, though, what he could do, and this is big, is killing the tent is a permanent removal of 10 population, and that's big. But you're never going to kill this, and so No Atlantis might find himself in a trap here where he's just going to keep on going aggressive and is going to lose more resources than what Chemo is going to, and then Chemo is just going to be able to turtle because he has 3 gold mines in his base, and then come out and then win the game in Mythic Age. Like if I'm Chemo here, I'm kind of happy to see what No Atlantis is doing, because I would be very confident in Chemo's position that I'm never going to lose my base in Heroic Age for sure. You've got priests, which can get their upgrade to make them do more damage to myth units. And if I'm Chemo here, what I do is I stay in my base and I go up mythic and get a Titan. I think I'd be okay with that. There is the risk of an implode, maybe killing the Titan gate. But yeah, if I'm Chemo here, I stay in my base, I would get a Titan, send the Titan forward, kill the town center, and then be all good. And man, these fish here. Okay, no, Atlantis is pushing on the left, but like, he does not know that these 3 fish have been fishing over here all game, and it might seem like a little thing, like, oh, you just talk about 3 fishing boats. Well, it's 3, but it's also 3 the other way, so it's really 6 fishing boats in a map where you only have 1 town center. So every civilian unit matters here. Would have needed to see this market making trade caravans so strong in this matchup. So strong. Got some Contarius, which are very unremarkable units if they aren't Uranos. They don't do well. Expensive unit, cost a lot of food, and they don't really counter cavalry archer. They don't really counter chariot archers. And yeah, no, Atlantis just sees this and he just can't stop himself. Can't stop himself. Putting up the wall, the Great Wall of China over here, even though he's just Atlantean. A little idleness. Economy. See, another good thing about Gaia is that you can get your eco upgrades all the way through first thing in the game, which is important because again, you can't make more villagers for more town centers, so economy upgrades are important. But he doesn't have them. Nice ball of Arcus here. Arcus are the unit that you want in this situation. Arcus are a very good unit. High range, very cheap. Not a ton of damage, but they're very spammable. I mean, they're so cheap and they have so much range. 20 range for a foot archer is quite a lot. It's the same as a chariot archer. And chariot archers have very long range. But yeah, you're just not gonna... Throwing so many resources away. Oh, it's too bad because no Atlantis... I mean, I guess it's not necessary, you know, we're not calling him out yet, but he's not playing this properly. Chemo is aging up with Horus, I like Horus. I mean, he doesn't have access to Son of Osiris. This wall's got put up just in time. Horus will be very good. Very good technologies for your barracks units if you get to them. But yeah, you're not gonna kill the Migdal with both building upgrades. And now this is where you don't want your Arcus to be, because they're just gonna die to Migdal fire. This Pharaoh should be empowering the Migdal to make it fire like 3 times as many arrows. Yeah, get out of there. And here's what you do if you're Chemo. You get a Titan. You save your Tornado for his Titan gate, and Chemo wins the game with a Titan. Because the Titan can run up here, flatten the town center. This town center stays down for 2 minutes. Then No Atlantis loses. That's how Chemo wins. So if Chemo does that, he will win. I don't see any way at this point that No Atlantis can counter that. These rhinos will tank it for a while. Chemo is spawning out rhinos from Chronosaurus Rex the second. So gotta watch these units here. Fall back, fall back, fall back. No, 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 no. Oh. A lot of resources just getting tossed there. We've left this side open. Alright. Alright, man, look at these. He's got these boats here. He does not know about this fish. Oh. Oh, it pains me to see that. It really does. Chemo's just gonna mass out. Okay, using the tornado here. Kind of an interesting use. Hero Arcus should get an attack bonus against the rhinoceroses. Rhinoceri. Interesting use of the tornado to secure this spot over here. But you can see Chemo just has so many resources because he hasn't really had to spend much in defense. And this was I talking about, is that No Atlantis is going to have to overcommit to try to be aggressive. And he's lost it all. And this gives Chemo free reign to do whatever he wants. I'm surprised it's taken this long for Chemo to start getting a Titan gate. It's going to come. May fast forward some of these so we can get into more games. But yeah, look, see, No Atlantis just doesn't have anything. And this is just where your inexperience as a player shows, where when you're a less skilled player, which No Atlantis is, it's not an insult or anything. It's a fact. You're not going to compare against Chemo. But when you're a less skilled player, you need to make all of the right decisions. And in this map, in this matchup here, in this game, No Atlantis did not make the right decisions. And with the skill differential, if you don't make all the right decisions, you aren't going to win. But yeah, he had a chance. It was close. He just needed to do the right play, which was, instead of pressuring here, it was take map control is fine, that's good, but behind that, don't attack the town center, don't attack the base. Get your Gaia upgraded trade caravans in heroic age and get a big boom. Find out about this. Don't let this happen all game, which he did. And the opportunities lost for No Atlantis. It was a map giving the start that a player that was equal with Chemo would have won as the Gaia here. Because the Gaia had it was a very good start for the Gaia as compared to the set. Look at this Rhinoceros army. They actually are they're pretty good with Feral too, which gives them more hack armor, more hit points, more pierce armor. But they're pretty decent for a 6 favor cost. I'd like to see more of them. You see them kind of in a meme scenarios, but they're good. Little tanks. We have a trader, a very weak trader on a siege tower. We've got this Titan. The Titan's going to be the closer here. Atlantis may hold this fight off. We fast forward a little bit. But it doesn't matter. The timer is this. This is the timer, and it's ticking. Because no Atlantis is kind of stuck in heroic age. Yeah, he'll hold this off, but he won't be able to stop the Titan. Doesn't even have his last. Doesn't have all of his economy upgrades either. And the trade market is here. He's going up Hecate. I don't know what Hecate's going to do in this scenario. Not a whole lot. Pierce upgrade, just one, and just also the Pierce upgrade. We'll push in on this, but KeeN on this, there's no fear. KeeN doesn't have to worry. Yeah, at this point, it doesn't matter. He just runs his units into his base, runs the Titan up here, and no Atlantis dies by the tower. Yeah, Implode, I would rather have seen Implode here than the Tartarian Gate. I don't think the Tartarian Gate gives you a whole lot here. He's going up with, yeah, he's going up with Tartarian Gate. I mean, it has the upgrades, but when you cast it next to the siege tower and the villagers... I mean, what else? I mean, yeah, it's a crappy use of the Tartarian Gate, but what else? I mean, the problem was he went up Tartarian. What are you gonna do with it? No Atlantis. There's no way. Titan should just come up here and flatten the town center, and that'll be the end of that. I mean, Chemo could do anything now. He can make wonder. He can attack this. Just slow push out. We have Norma Gold for No Atlantis, who is just now making his trade route. Yeah, we've mined every gold mine on his side of the map. He has nothing. Chemo has everything. Shifting Sands Titan. But it's too bad. It is too bad, because you would have liked to have seen No Atlantis play this properly. And potentially steal a game from Chemo, because the opportunity was there. Chemo just taking it really safe here. Slow push forward. But there he goes. And we'll see the cool part of sudden death, which is once the town center goes down, we've got 2 minutes. We're trying a surprise attack here. But we have a shifting sands. Anyway. That'll end that. Too bad. Not that I'm really cheering against Chemo. It's just everybody likes the underdog story. You know, no Atlantis to win a game against Chemo would have been pretty fun. And this is the kind of map that it could happen. But yeah, this is our timer. 2 minutes. How is he going to rebuild it? He won't. And that's it. GG. So we've got Chemo moving forward into the second round of this double elimination. Real quick, let's take a look at the resources. Like, you can see the difference. Oh. It's just such a simple game plan to do here, giving the start to win this game as the Gaia. And Atlantis kind of played in the way that he would just lose. You're not gonna push into the base here in heroic age. You're just not. So, oh well. Let's move on. So far we've done us versus Soup, Atlantis versus KeeN. Well, let's do Shelty versus Scotty. That's a matchup. First round matchup. I mean, Soup versus Hell's Ravage was too, but Shelty versus Scotty, a little DOD, Deities of Death grudge match here, and they get Ra. Both of them get Ra. That's a very interesting matchup because Ra has a lot of flexibility here on what to do given his god path. There's so much you can do. Vast is decent. Shifting Sands is really good. Citadel for Scarabs is maybe a play, but why would you do that when you can't cast Citadel anyway? But like there's a scenario where like a surprise Shifting Sands play with Scarabs and stuff. I mean, you're probably not going to get it to work in Heroic Age, so probably Citadel / Scarabs is not what you want because I'd even think of it this way. I mean, the Rock with the ability to Rock drop the tents even is just so good. Mythic Age, you go Osiris, you go Horus. There's so many different things that you can do as the Ra here. And the first thing is to win water. And it does seem like the map tends to favor the right side of the map as far as giving more fish to this side of the map. That's something where if I were to go into this tournament knowing the first round is sudden death, I would run quite a few maps through the editor just to see how it spawns, and would likely have noticed that, yep, always go to the right, because odds are this will be the better pond, in which case both players went to the right, and both players have a pharaoh named A was ranked. Used to be a viewer I used to see quite a bit watching. I haven't seen him in a while. I hope he's doing okay. We have an Armor of Achilles, -5% infantry hack vulnerability. Really makes Horus even a little bit better. And the other one is Scales of the Tablapas, which makes myth units have more resistance to crush attack. This relic has cost me some games because of its effect in Titan Wars. This would be a very good relic to get on this map because the likelihood of a Titan game being built in this matchup is pretty high. And this, I don't know the exact amount, but it's roughly maybe 900 hit points. Maybe that's a little optimistic, but in a Titan v Titan battle, this relic saves quite a bit of hit points. And I would say, yeah, that relic alone, you look at it and you're like, it doesn't do much, it's not that important, but there are scenarios where even this relic can win or lose the game based on that. This is a very unfortunate chicken spawn here. Really kind of, these little peckers get in your way of your gold mining operations, kind of annoying. Maybe just go to the other gold mine. You might ask me, what would I do in this situation? As a Ra. I hate to say it because I like this map and I like to pick it in tournaments. As a Ra here, I'm winning one side of the water. I'm going all in on this side of the water. I have to win this side of the water. If I lose it, I'm kind of screwed. But if I win it, I feel like I win the game because what I do is I win this, stay on my base, make a Titan, and I would go up Bast into Hathor into Horus in a Ra mirror here. And I'm all in on winning water. Even if I don't win this side of water, as long as I get this side of the water, I still feel pretty confident in the fast Titan victory. The Pharaohs is Awa's ranked, who is an old viewer. The Pharaoh is going to be the same for both. The game just picks one random Pharaoh name for the entire game. So if you have 6 Egyptians, they'll all have the same Pharaoh in that game. Nice gold mines here. We got an extra gold mine, an extra gold mine, and then we've kind of got 2 that spawn right in the middle of the map. Both going tie. 530, 543 will be 537, 543 will be their age up times. You know, I think we have the, yeah, we can get their economies and stuff showed up because this one has an observer. So a tie. Tie leaves you open to a little bit more strategies because shifting sands is so strong with the ability to like suddenly shift like 5 catapults or something. You know, 6, 7 catapults onto the town center, and you can kind of cheap a win that way. But I think, just me, the best fast Titan here, as long as you win one side of the water, is pretty tough to beat. They've aged up. It looks like, oh, Scotty here really wants to win this side of the water. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 docks. If I were Scotty, I would not worry at all about this side. No one cares about the side of the water that only has 6 fishing spots. Let's worry about the one that has 12. That's what matters. So I'm really, I don't mind the docks being built here, because you want to force Shelty, who is playing under max train, to have to defend. But I'm not a big fan of the cabinets getting spammed on this side when the real treasure is over here. But both players kind of equally fighting the water. But yeah, I would just forget this side of water. This was all I care about. Ooh, a little miss micro here by Scotty. Waters? That's a question. What do I want in the next AOM game? I just want it to not be worse. Which may seem like a small ask, but given the way things have gone, that is probably optimistic, judging by past releases, because Extended Edition was certainly worse. It's at the point now where it's okay. It's still worse, which is really just a shame in the original version. Yeah, look at this. Very hard on the left and losing on the right. Now it is hard to kill these docks because there's a bunch of them. But yeah. But beyond that, what do I want for the next AOM game? I want the next AOM game. Oh, a lot of boats just popped out. I want it to be Age of Mythology still. I like Age of Mythology for Age of Mythology. You know, the Age of Mythology retold. Oh, Shelty not paying attention here. Retold kind of makes it a little bit vague, because what does that mean? Is it the same exact game? Are they changing it? Is it going to be different mechanically? I hope not, because I love the way that Age of Mythology plays. I love the mechanics. There's a lot that goes into this game that if you don't, you might not necessarily notice, but the way the game works with range units and kind of all that goes into how ranged units work, god powers, melee units, the way that they have snare so that when they attack another melee unit or another unit at all, it slows them down. How buildings, when they're being constructed, take a ton more bonus damage. There's a lot of stuff that when you compare this to like Age of Empires 2, while yes, this isn't as pure of an RTS, it has a lot more intricate details to it that really matter. And I would hate for that kind of stuff to get changed. Like Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 4, fine games, but very bland. especially with the way when you have ranged units that just hit every single shot no matter what. It loses a lot of the personality with stuff like that, where yes, Age of Mythology kind of has like a random-ish. It's not really random, but like as far as ranged units work, whether or not they hit the target, there is a slight bit of randomness, but it's not really, because there's formulas behind it and such, and the way it works. And that's just one small example. But yeah, new maps would be great. An official platform would be fantastic. Like, all I want is for the new edition to not be worse than the game that came out in 20. What did it come out? 2002. I want it to be worse than the version that came out in 2002, and I want it to unite the communities. If that's all it does, if it's exactly the same of everything else, it's worth it just to combine the communities and get the ability to have more new people show up. That's all it needs. Still got these fights going on in the water. Yeah, lag free with servers. I mean, that I kind of count that as part of a modern game, which I guess you can't assume because Extended Edition didn't have that, but whatever. But yeah, it should be. I should be able to just log on and play the same game that's just as good as the one from 2002. Hit quick search, hit search, and have a pool of a whole lot of players to just play against. That's all I want. I don't new content would be cool. Really random, stupid locust here. I don't understand it. I don't know. It's such a dumb locust. Like, what does it do? Yeah. That's exactly right, Ryfang. Is sometimes you log on and you just can't find a game. Why? Because there's not enough players. Why? Because they're split onto 3 communities, really. You got Game Ranger, you got Voobly, you got Extended Edition. Another stupid locust. This is making me mad. I might have to just switch to a different game. Why do I think this is stupid? Because what does it do? You think about the game and the way this map works, and that if you keep this town center down for 2 minutes, you win. Stuff like Locust. Keep it. You wait till you kill their town center. You know, this is what I mean. If I do Fast Titan here, Bast, Tornado, Locust. I kill this town center. There is no way it's ever getting rebuilt with Locust and Tornado in my back pocket. And they're just kind of playing this like a standard map, where there's not any real differences of strategy as compared to like a normal map. And that kind of stuff, I mean, just kind of annoys me because the opportunity on a map like this is to have some really cool strategies, and just to see players play this map and just play standard, it's just kind of disappointing. You know, there's so much potential in some of the non-standard maps, and you don't really see it. And we've got Shelty has now taken control of the left pond and the right pond. And that's going to put him quite a bit ahead of Scotty as far as resources. The fishing counts are the same, I guess. Uh-oh. Still fighting over this pond. But not quite. Why didn't he complete the wall? What wall? Did I see a wall? I know there's a little bit of a delay. This one? This one? Oh, you mean here? I don't know. That's a good question. And again, we got this random siege works here. Got a rain. Plow, husbandry. No empowerment. No empowerment here. See, this is again. I mean, these players aren't necessarily raw mains, so you're not. Even though these two players are very top players, Scotty and Shelty, top players. But again, in a map like this, where civilian units are limited, you're raw. You can empower all your buildings. You have pop space all the way up to 170. There should be a priest here. There should be a priest here. Especially during rain. No reason not to. Too bad. Wow, we've got these like competing raiding armies. With Shelty with a bigger army. Oh, come on. Nice little path blocking, but the way the raid garrisoning kind of works is you kind of get an extra, I don't know, range with all units. They can kind of pop through the units, which is kind of too bad. So these units kind of cheap through. Yeah, that'd be something if they could fix that. Like, why can't a unit from here garrison into the Migdal? Like, surely there's a way to lower that garrisoning jump that you could do without screwing with pathing. But maybe there isn't, I don't know. How goes it? Makia goes good. Watching some sudden death tournament games or raw mirror where they're just playing kind of standard on a non-standard map. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. And Scotty is also doing what Shelty is doing, which is not empowering. You're raw. Empower this, empower that. And I talk like I would play better. I wouldn't. Which sometimes is a little frustrating for me because the reason I don't play better isn't because I don't know how. It's just I can't keep up now. I just mechanically and fundamentally make way too many mistakes. But whatever. This game isn't about me. It's about Shelty and Scotty, who are facing off in the first round of KeeN. The KeeN Clan Map Masters Tournament. We're kind of stalemating here into not a whole lot of much. And we're seeing a shifting sands play here coming soon. And this is where, again, it would be so nice to have Locust, because you shift sands onto this, you cast Locust, the villagers are not going to be able to kill the siege towers, and you're going to do so much damage. But this is some nice pressure here by Shelty, and we have... What is he doing? Does he not realize this town center has 5,580 hit points? I mean, I guess he kills a tent. Are we going to see the shift right after? Okay. Alright, imagine he has Locust. He's not even... Is he going to kill the town center? Yeah, he will. But he's not going to keep it down. This is where, imagine Locust. You wouldn't have just screwed it up earlier and used it for no reason. But does he keep the town center down, though? Will this still work? It shouldn't. I don't know why Scotty is so far behind. Probably because of the water. Oh, he's trying to do his own. I hate to say it, though, but if you're the second one to do it... Oh, it did work anyway. Oh, man, this was so incompetently managed, but wins in the end. Because he was just the first person to do it. And, yeah, no gold. Wow. In the end, it worked. It was rough. But... Get the, yeah, 4 Patsuchos and the Avenger. And I feel like Scotty just... How far behind economically was he? It feels like he was just way behind. But he wasn't. He was ahead. But where does... He was ahead in economy, but where what was it put into? Because you look at what happened and you think that he's way behind. So I'm not really sure. Did he? Weird. Lost some units here. That's a lot of villagers, though, at the end that he lost. I'm just having a hard time understanding how he was so far behind. Weird. Well, anyway, that is a strategy and a way to do it. It worked, and it was. I guess you're gonna look at this and be like, "Well, look, the strategy worked, so you were wrong with what you said." Now, I mean, if a win is a win, you can't go against it, but it could have been executed a lot better. But that's okay. Yeah, Schulte, he gets the win. Got to be happy. We're gonna move on to Grass and Groom versus Gaboo on another sudden death. I like this sudden death. What time is it? 10:25. Man, we might get through all of these sudden death games. I like sudden death. This is fun. Yes, proper gentleman. I agree with you. I do agree with you. But let's introduce our players. We got Grass and Groom, who's kind of an up-and-coming player. He's a young whippersnapper who started playing on Extended Edition at some point, maybe a few years ago, and moved over to Voobly. And he's kind of developed into a pretty solid Haranos player. Gaboo here. Oh, and he's from the United States, so he's a fellow countryman. Gaboo here has been on Voobly, which is the original Age of Mythology, for a handful of years now. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Maybe not quite that long. Normally a Loki player. Very good Loki player. Signs up in some tournaments, just like Grass and Groom. I'd say overall these two players are pretty similar in skill level with Loki and Aranos. Now, Grass and Groom won the Random God lottery because we're doing Random God, and he got his main. Gaboo got Set, which is not his main. I don't even know if he knows how to play Set. So Grass and Groom should probably win this, and Gaboo is not even going to Water, which is an interesting decision. Did he get hunting dogs? He did. It could be that Gaboo sees this first map is sudden death, and he didn't get his main god, and is kind of can't be bothered to try to win real well. But now we have seen with the previous two games that the Egyptian players going to Water have been aging up at 5:30 at the fastest. Which probably would mean they would lose Water to the Atlantean. I think there is maybe some room here. He's going hunting dogs, aging up at like 4:30 as Set, and while you're aging up, building docks, and then just fighting at that point. You could do that. I don't know if it's really better or worse than trying to fish immediately. I mean, you get a little worse economy, but a faster age up with the hope that you would be able to win the Water. So I could see that. But yeah, I am a proper gentleman. Not I am a proper gentleman, though I am one. And I'd love non-standard maps. I like introducing new maps into the random map pool, which to me is the best way to increase the variety in Age of Mythology, especially in this stage where the game is 20 years old. Over the years, through the balance patch, I've tried adding quite a few new maps into the map pool, and time after time, it has been shown that the only map that gets accepted are land maps, typically ones with high hunt, because those are the only ones that players want to play, that like to play, that are new maps. We tried to introduce quite a few different water maps, hybrid water maps, land water maps, all of them. People just started saving and exiting and refusing to play, at which point you can't really have the map in the map pool if people are just going to quit when they see it. And it's too bad. because new maps introduce a lot of new variety. And there's a lot of assumptions made about new maps that as soon as these top players in a community with like 500 active players, how good really are the top players in a community that small? But the top players decide, oh yeah, these maps suck because this god is the best, therefore we aren't going to play it. And it's really no different than any other map. But they're also making those assumptions based on no gameplay. And then you just get a map that gets put to the back burner, never to be played again. Because of some assumptions made about how it's just not a competitive map, and how do you really know? But maps like this even, that aren't standard, are still perfectly fine maps to play. And I'm not a fan of how Age of Mythology, with how much variety it can have in a game, has kind of been pigeonholed into rated standard maps can only be your normal maps with 3 town centers a player, nothing else, no difference. Standard normal maps, just the land, maybe some water, although we don't like water, so the less of those the better, and nothing else. Map like this is perfectly fine in competitive play. Does it favor some gods over others? Maybe. But this map has not been played enough to really know. So why isn't this map in the map pool? Might as well be. It's no worse than watching Medit for the 100 millionth time over the last 20 years. It is a bit of a rant. Could it have some problems? It could. Does the map, the way it spawns, need a little bit of updates? What's this guy doing? It needs a little bit of polishing, but the map design itself is fine. And why does a map have to have 3 town centers? Why can't it have 4? Why can't it have 2? Why not 3 per player and then an extra one? Middle of the base. Why are we casting Vision right now? By Gabu, is he gonna Vil Rush the Citadel? I need to pause because I have no idea what he shifted. What did he shift? I literally can't tell what he shifted, so I guess he screwed it up. I have no idea what he... Oh, he shifted this army up here in the corner. Really didn't want to lose his water. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this map could probably use maybe some adjustment. But the concept is fine. It's a different way of playing Age of Mythology. Could it be imbalanced? Sure, but isn't the normal rated maps imbalanced? I mean, if you're Norse going against Greek on Mediterranean, are you kind of screwed? Yeah, but people are okay with that. Why? Because it was a map that came with the game. And that's another thing too that I don't think people realize, that you can fire so many different you can have so many different things into a map script and make it different. You can have maps with different technologies available to players, all sorts of stuff. There's so much variability that could be in the game and played, but everybody just wants to play the basic normal game, which is fine. I don't have anything against that, but there's just so much more potential for more. And that's why I love tournaments like this. Because you now are going to see, I mean, it's been 20 years. Do we really want to watch yet another tournament with Norse players picking Marsh, Greek players picking Mediterranean, Egyptian players picking Alpine? Some people do, and that's fine. But some people like me want to see new stuff after 20 years. And maybe Retold will be really good Gabu's gonna lose this fight so hard and lose this game so hard. Maybe the new game will be really good and we'll have a rotating map pool and we'll get to play maps like that in rated play and everybody will be okay with it. Why? Because the developers said so, so therefore it must be right. Oh yeah, I love Nomad. I played many a game on Age of Empires 2, Nomad. But yeah, Urinators, who is the leader of Gabu's set civilization, is really questioning his civilization's performance because Gabu is way behind and Gabu has lost this game. So I will just fast forward because he is incompetently played, which is okay because he's not a set player by trade. And if you have never played this map and have never really played set, how are you going to win against somebody who gets his main god? You probably not. And such is the life of the randomizer. Sometimes it helps you and sometimes it doesn't. And we will fast forward until Gabu loses this game. I mean, Gabu could maybe lose his Citadel in a classical age. Crash Crew is so far ahead. Okay, alright. Yeah. And see, I like that Flame. You know, there's a certain, in a way, when you have a mono god expert and a tournament that allows mono god players to choose the same god over and over, it's cool in a way because it's nice to see, you know, there's something kind of elegant with, you know, the Mista Zeus playing Magic's Isis in a best of 7 and just seeing them ram Zeus versus Isis against each other. And there's a certain elegance in seeing how each game might play a little different. But it's also a lot of fun to see the variety. And let's just move on to the next game. Gabu got blasted. It's also a lot of fun to see the variety. And overall, your tournaments between just the main gods over and over and over get really boring. And certainly, you can say that a player who is better with more than one god is a much better player. And in a game that has been out for 20 years, if you're a mono god player who's only good with one god, you aren't an expert anymore, and you should not be considered to be, because everybody over the last 20 years has figured out how to play the game for you. And if all you're doing is just copying a build and you just happen to be faster or younger and have a whole lot of time to play a 20-year-old game, and you can do the same 2-town center Poseidon grab every game over and over and over and over, and because it's so consistent you succeed, and then you think because you're winning you're good, big deal. You can do the same thing over and over. Yay. Something to be said about the player that can pick a random god and just be good, no matter what god he gets. But another old geezer rant that has no relevance in this game. But we've got Count Von Count as Set, who is a Norse player, and he's got Set. We've got Shadowfax, who's a Ranos. Normally he's a Nilla player. I mean, historically, though, nobody really plays Vanilla, which is the original old AOM without Atlantean. Aranos is probably not super good, but Aranos is one of those gods that it's kind of hard to mess up to some extent. Our hero is Soup, 7th. This pharaoh name really entertains me, because not only is it named after Soup, it has in its name already Soup the 7th, but then the game will then add the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th every time the pharaoh dies. So it really is stupid, but hilarious at the same time because it's so dumb. I love this though. He purposely moved his oracle there so that Count Von Count couldn't build it. And we saw a shockwave, and now we have a battle to the death between the villager and the oracle. This is a very nice, you don't see a whole lot of the manual oracle heroizing, and it's really nice to see. I just am not quite sure why he used shockwave. Well, he would have killed this villager anyway. But he did, and that's fine. The villager is dead, so blew a shockwave for no real reason, but it's not a big deal. You want your own pharaoh, huh? We got another one coming down. Those are the Sphinx. More building hit points. Nose of the Sphinx. Myth unit crush. That's another one. Interesting. So you get, wow, more Nose of the Sphinx hit points. If you always wins means you're not good. What does it mean then? That's not exactly what I said anyway. But kind of. I mean, it's kind of a philosophical argument to some extent. But here's kind of my viewpoint, is that Age of Mythology as an RTS is a casual RTS. It's not a hard game to be good at. So with that in mind, because look at me. At one point, and this is years and years ago, I was a top 20 player, but I wasn't very good. Realistically. Like, I was not a good player, mechanically. But, whatever. This game isn't very hard to be good at. There's not a lot of... Mechanically, this is a very easy RTS. You have a very limited number of units that you have to use. You have auto queue that does half the stuff for you anyway. The main thing is a lot of it is just general military management and general strategy. Like, micro is important to some extent, but almost in Age of Mythology, just your decision making and your general military management and your eco management are the main things. Not a lot of mechanical stuff, which makes it a fairly easy game to be decent at. Hide in the Gnoc. So with that in mind, because it's not exactly a hard game to play, there are certain strategies in this game that are very easy to win with because they work over and over and over and over. And if you're a player who uses those easy strategies to win over and over and over, are you, as the player, actually winning? Or are you just... is it the game winning for you? You know, auto queue is producing your units. The game isn't exactly hard to play anyway. And now you're just doing a strategy that works over and over. Like, we can put the Aranos Murmillo Terma spam into that category, where it's a strategy that's very easy to do and works on pretty much every map, especially every land map. And if you're a player that finds success in that and you're winning quite a bit, is it really necessarily you that's winning? Or is it just a game and you're just doing what the game allows you to do and you win over and over? Now, having said that, I understand that there is skill in it, and if you're a Ranos player who keeps on winning over and over, you're winning. That's good. It means you're a good Age of Mythology player, but I guess the philosophical kind of aspect behind it is, if you're just doing the same thing over and over to win in a game that's not hard to play, while you are winning and it makes you a skilled Age of Mythology player, are you truly skilled, or is it just easy? And then you might say, well, why don't you do that? Because I suck. I can't even keep my town centers active with auto queue. But I don't mean it to be a criticism of your solo players, because some people do just want to play one god and be good at it, and that's fine. But I think if you want to be considered like a top player in a game that's fairly easy to play, you have to be able to play more than one god, and probably most gods at a high level. But let's talk about the game. We've got Shadowfax as the Eranos, who's gone up. Oceanus. It's an interesting choice. Not necessarily bad, because as we've kind of showed and I've talked about, is that winning water is very important, and certainly Oceanus really allows you to win the water with the Carnivora and the Caladria that heals boats. And if you win the water, you probably, unless you have some cheese behind it, like the Fast Titan maybe, you probably win the game. We've got 3, 6, and 9 fish on the right, 3, 6, 9 fish on the left. So this map actually spawned even with 9 on each side. And we got quite the fight here with the Eranos against Count Set. And Count Set seems to be a little bit behind. And this is kind of my thinking on this map is, yes, the Eranos have to walk a long way to get a dock, but I like the Atlantean on this map because it's still a long walk for your Egyptian. And the Egyptian is going to age up very late on this map, even if they go water. And it's very tough to hold the water as Egyptian against Atlantean here. A lot of boats, though. This may be a slight bit overkill. Like, if I'm counting and I see this many boats. What do you got? 16, 17, 18 boats? There's no point. Just go on this side. Fight this side now. And it looks like what he's doing. Like, this is some overkill by the old Shadowfax here. This is a lot of units. When yes, the fish is important, but it sure seems like Count is kind of controlling this side of the water with a whole lot fewer units, to the point where Shadowfax has really put a ton of resources into this. But Shadowfax is way ahead by score. We have some barracks here, which is very peculiar. We have a Carnivora just to finish off the dock on this side. The reason I say the barracks units are very peculiar is, what are you going to do with the barracks units here against an Eranos? You don't want to make barracks units against Eranos. They just get cut up. In the classical age. You probably should just be going heroic here. I don't see the point of Axeman Slinger in a map where you should be going heroic. Visel, I'm good. How are you? I'm happy. I'm watching some Age of Mythology, going on some rants. Oh, I can't even control my mouse when I'm watching a recorded game. How do you expect me to play? And Shadowfax is a really high score. A lot of it, though, is because he's got a lot of boats out, which are kind of vaulting his score, but they're kind of ended their usefulness. But Count's going to have to win this side of the water, and he is way behind in economy here. This kind of goes to, it's very easy as Atlantean, even if you're not an Atlantean main, to manage your economy and do very good with it. If you're not an Egyptian player by trade, it's hard to keep up with an Atlantean. This is very peculiar. Very peculiar decision here to make these barracks units, your super slow barracks units, to come across the map to probably get picked off by Atlantean, although we don't really have very many units here. But yeah, you make just a few units. Regular, you're married? Good for you. Good for you. Ooh, we got siege boats here. Yeah, I'm look at the score difference. Like, wow, Count is way behind. Set is a tough god here, I think. Well, it's hard to say because, you know, there's been so few games played on this map that you don't really know what is competitively good or bad, but I think that kind of sucks on this map. Let's fast forward and see what's going to happen. I'm going to probably try to get into one more game tonight. If Ancestors are being used. There is no Valor, so the Ancestors get some benefit. We have a good amount of Slingers here. Shockwave using the Slingers. The Arcus in this situation probably aren't the right unit to make, because the only unit that the Slinger is going to do well against is the Arcus. So why are you making Arcus as Shadowfax? And this pressure is doing pretty good. In fact, I'm kind of eating my words because I said the barracks units are just going to get picked apart here. And the barracks units are actually doing pretty decent. This is that situation where you should still be making Terma, because Terma do really well with some Murmillo, and especially Contarius against this unit composition. But there's been some good trades by the Count, but he's still way behind. So I don't know if he's really going to keep it up. He does have the Side of the Water. Does he have eco upgrades? He's got Purse Sign. What kind of eco upgrades does Shadowfax got? He's got the second one already. And any armory upgrades. Pierce Armor upgrade. It's very important to get. Also Pierce Armor upgrade, because it's basically free. Decent eco upgrades. Decent eco upgrades. Horrible mining camp placement here. Don't forgive him for that. We got some elephants coming out. I like the elephants. Need to see some Axemen, though, to get on the destroyers. This bird just chooses to fly right over the fight. So that got destroyed. And Shadowfax was a bit too slow to transition to a land army. And for the time has felt the pain. We got a big fight here. Just, it's where you need the Axemen. Need some Axemen. The Slingers are fine, because he's making Arcus that are still getting auto-queued into the middle of the fight. But you need some more Axemen here. We'd have Spearmen instead of Axemen. Bird. Pharaoh died. Yeah, these Axemen are living so long. Thanks to the sun. You know, it would be its time to see it. But yeah, why are we not making Axemen here? These destroyers are doing so much work. If these spears would have been Axemen, this fight would have gone so much differently. You don't really need spears here because the Migdol strongholds will do the damage to the Contarius. The only unit here that you really couldn't kill is the destroyers. So you needed Axemen here. Like Axemen, Slinger, and a few elephants even, or chariots are okay. Would have been fine. But the lack of Axemen really hurt. Now these buildings are living forever because of all the upgrades that you start off with. But yeah, there's still nothing to kill these destroyers who keep doing lots of damage here. And we've got just one Migdol left. We've got one barracks here that's trying to auto-queue Spearmen. We doesn't have the food to auto-queue Spearmen. I still question the Spearman construction. Now there's just no Slingers. The Arcus are looking a lot better. And this forward build here, now by Count Von the Count, is not working. Is now full retreat. Get out of there. It's not the end for Count, but it's not looking good. But, oh, we've already got a trade route started for Shadowfax, so that's good. You can see he's got 4 caravans, same amount of fish. 18 times 3, 4, 250 some, so a little bit more villagers. So common count is behind economically, and I don't know. This push worked a little bit better than I thought it would, mainly due to Shadowfax being too slow to switch to land. But in the end, really was no point. Yeah, see, I'm still thinking that. I mean, I guess here, if Count Von Count doesn't do anything, he's behind economically, and then he falls behind ages and probably gets whacked by an early Mythic Age. But yeah, what are you really hoping to gain with your Heroic Age pressure? Shifting sands used to shift all of these. Actually got quite a few units shifted away. Try to save the Migdal here. And this here is a little bit probably of what's costing Count is his lack of familiarity with Set, or Egyptian. You have to have Axemen here. You have to. You cannot fight without Axemen. You will never ever kill the medium destroyer. And we have a whole lot of idle villager stuff going on here, and that's not good. Yeah, there's just nothing to kill these medium destroyer. Now here Shadowfax doesn't have his full army here. I don't know where it all exactly is. I guess maybe he's lost a bit. He's got more pop, but I'm having a hard time finding his units. Does Count not know about this gold mine here? He does. He might have just seen it. I'm not sure. But like, yeah, I see these villagers coming forward, and I'm wondering what in the world is he doing. He must not notice it's there. Okay, here's the other units. They were over here running around in Candyland. I don't even know if he's gonna kill this palace because it's got all these armory upgrades. And this Count was gone. Count was behind anyway, but this will probably seal the deal. Yeah, well, we're up Mythic, and that's the game. Very peculiar. This was a little bit strange play here. And so far, other than Shelty shifting the stuff on top of the town center, we really haven't seen anything to really kind of take advantage of this map's kind of unique characteristic with the Migdal. What time we got here? 10:57. Decisions to be made. Yeah, way behind economy. I just don't know if Set can keep up with the Atlantean economy on this map, because there's not a lot of natural resources that you kind of want as Set, like a lot of hunt and stuff. But well, yeah. So well, this is fun. But let's see. So what are the odds? See, last night I was woken up by a puking child. Are they the odds here that I get another night with a puking child? I don't know. And yes, Raifeng, I agree with you. Joe versus Momo. Let's hop into this. I do agree. As Egyptian, the best play has to be turtling and getting a Titan. That would be my play. But we got Joe on the top as Poseidon. I have not seen a Poseidon yet in these random god games in this first first round of the KeeN Map Masters Tournament. And our bottom player, Momo, is Ra. So Joe is a member of the DoD clan. We've already seen a few of those. They matched off against each other, the DoD clanners, Shelty and Scotty. Now we got Joe, who is a top-level Egyptian primarily, but has played some other unit gods and is overall pretty skilled player. He gets Poseidon, which Poseidon is one of those straightforward gods that isn't super hard to play. I mean, you mass most times, especially in a map like this, you can just mass Hippicon if you need to. Greek on water is really nice. So Joe, I like Greek on this map. I like Ra on this map as long as you go for like a Titan kind of a play style here. Ra will have a hard time winning water, but has some decent dock spots here. Fish here is pretty solid. The fish here is really solid because this fish in the ponds can kind of be wherever. And again, we got this, the fish is heavy on the right again with this spawn way out on the right, and then you just got two in the middle of the map here. So this is the pond to win. And as the Ra player here, you're going to have a hard time winning this pond. Now, Ra has rain to fall back on, and this is where you're almost, you don't want to give up the pond. But you can almost afford to give up the larger pond here if you keep the smaller pond and fall back on rain. To use a rock, like, do I personally like playing with rocks? Not really, because they're kind of cheap as far as tactically, just kind of cheap. But it's the way the rock works as far as the design itself is okay. It's just there needs to be a little bit more hurdles put into place as far as the ungarrisoning and regarrisoning. Like if the rock garrison worked like a myth unit special, where, and I don't know which way would be better. Say you garrison units into a rock. Is there a certain time period before you can garrison more units? To me, the best use of it is if you ungarrison units from a rock, there should be a cooldown period time as far as when you can hop those units back into the rock. So have it like a cooldown. You drop a catapult off, it's got to stay out for 10 seconds. Something like that. Because the rock's just a bit of an abusable concept, the way it works. I like the unit. I like the additional strategical value it gives to the game, and I would hate to remove it. But it's a gameplay mechanic that can and has been abused, and is something that, with some tweaks, would probably almost be a little bit more interesting strategically in a way, because now you have decisions to make as the rock dropper. And you can't just blindly rock drop and pop out your 4 catapults here, bam, 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 put them in, bam, here, pop out, bam, you know. It kind of goes to back what I was ranting about earlier, is just because you win doesn't necessarily mean you're good, and just because you're rock dropping and winning, the game's winning for you. But anyway, ooh, we have a Bast from Momo. So Momo is not a Ra player. Momo is a Greek player, and I don't know if I've ever seen him play Ra. Momo's pretty solid. He's not as far as Joe. He's not as skilled as Joe, but Momo's pretty solid. Momo's a Greek. Joe is the Egyptian. So we've kind of had a switcheroo. They're cosplaying as each other here, and we'll see how it goes. We have the Bast. I like the Bast. I do like the Bast. You can use that to do some fast mythic, fast Titan shenanigans. Let's see. It's late, so I'll kind of fast forward some of this. I would assume that Momo is going to lose one side of the water, perhaps both. 522 advance. That's about the fastest we've been seeing Egyptians advancing on this map. And we have Joe is kind of now one in the water, at least towards holding it. Oh, I can do this and see what we're doing here. Well, we do have some garrisoned cabinets into this dock here. Does he try to fight this side? What are the relics? The Girdle of Hippolyta. Ooh, it's not bad. Chariot Archers and Arcus and Toxotes have more hit points. And the toothed arrows. Archers have more pierce damage. Oh, those are some archer relics here. And oh, we have the popped out cabinets, which is now we'll have Joe responding by, oh man, I got an eyelash or something. Sorry, now it's kind of gross to look at someone rubbing their eye, but something's going on here. Yeah, so you're just gonna have to see like a seesaw here, where you're gonna have boats massed up in here, and boats over here. That's Proper Gentleman has said. What if rocks, as they take damage, they drop garrison units? So you're saying as they take more damage, they more units fall out of the basket. Like the basket is losing its structural integrity. It's an idea. It would seem maybe a little bit clunky. How does the game decide which unit falls out? At 50%, it loses its entire load. I mean, at that point, you might as well just have the rock, just have half as many hit points, because if it can't carry units, there's really no point in having it. Yeah, now we really needed more docks here for Momo, and more micro here for Momo. He's lost all his boats. Now Momo has got the advantage on this side, and we've got the Sphinx is dead. Rocks move slower as load increases. See, that's not bad. That's not a bad idea either. Like, yeah, there's just so many different things that you could use to kind of make rocks just more palatable as a strategical part of the game. We got some Hippocons out already for Joe. Joe's putting on some good early pressure here. I like the way Joe's been playing. Getting control of the water, getting some Hippocons to put down the docks, otherwise it's kind of hard to win the water. And we still have had nobody scout this corner here. Not even the hippocampus. Momo is got a lot of wood in the bank, and we have another. Oh no, he is empowering. Momo, I think, is the first player that we've seen as Rada empower his town center today when it's had rain cast. It's good. He deserves to win just based on that. All right, Joe has won the right side. Momo has aged up. Momo is making spearmen for no reason. We have a lot of cabinets on this side, because you really can't afford to lose both sides of the water here. These spearmen should just instead be no spearmen at all, jumping up to Mythic Age to get a Titan. Momo has no favor because he only has one on you. No, he has two. He just built them really late. Does Momo have plow and husbandry? Yep. Okay. Ooh. And now we see why I said you don't make spearmen here, because they're just gonna die. Yeah, this makes no sense to me. I don't know what you're doing with these things. One can age up to Mythic here. I would like to see it. Okay, he's waiting for his market. Momo can. This is where Momo can steal a win. Until I'm proved wrong, I like the Titan, the fast Titan. And we also have Joe trying to age up. Oh, he was aging up and then canceled to get his Hippolyta out because he has nothing to really kill the rock. But these spearmen, what are you gonna do with them? I mean, for some reason, these spearmen are making Joe stay way back in his base, which is allowing this. There's no point. The spearmen can't do anything. You don't even have to defend. What are they going to do? There's nothing to raid with them. They'll just die. So they're providing a distraction. Alright, yeah, go forward. You can, yeah, just send this after them. Kill them all. Alright, we have Osiris activated here. We have 40. You'd better get a rock on top of this, but he's got 43 favor. This Osiris is not long for the world. It would be nice now to have the Spearman down here with the fight. We have a curse. Oh, this is. You don't have. Where'd all the rest? Where'd the Toxotes go? He's so concerned about these stupid spearmen. Wow, now we have a locust. Killed 2 villagers. Trying to kill a 10 for a permanent. Oh no. Oh. Spearmen are all dead. What is this pressure? Just get a Titan! Joe has a ton of food. He has the Hephaestus Plenty Vault, which is so good. And he got the upgrade that makes armory technologies cheaper, which is so good as well in this map because resources are kind of limited with having just one town center. But I am not on this push is not the way to win this game. Not the way. Close. This actually is a fairly close game here. I would like to see Bellerophon. Yeah, I don't know why there hasn't been any trade yet. Joe really needs to start a trade route because you only have one town center. The only way to increase your production of civilian units is to get either a dock, which we've got, but also the market. And Joe has taken some bad trades here. He is fighting before all of his technologies come in. But yeah, the Plenty Vault will get a lot of stacks here. And yes, it is a high gold map because you start with 3 medium gold mines in your base. But Joe is taking fights here that he need not take. Because you look at the distance that Momo's army needs to go before it starts doing damage, which is essentially all the way up here. So why fight down here? Let him kill your buildings. It doesn't really matter. Wait until you get your armory upgrades that you know. Wow, he's even got some armory upgrades too. But you know that Momo won't be able to match your armory upgrades because you're getting access to all the super cheap ones because of Forge of Olympus. But Joe's a little bit slow at getting those armory upgrades. Also, oh, he can't make Bellerophon because he's Poseidon. I'm stupid. Momo is in a good position. What did he use all his favor on, though? He must have gotten a spearman technology. No. He's getting skin of the rhino. The Migdal. No, there are no Sphinx. Maybe he made a second mummy? I don't know. Because, yeah, he should have more favor than what he has. But he's in a great spot. Make a Titan. Eclipse wins you the Titan fight. He's got too much siege. There's so much population and siege right now that he can't win the military fight. Again, this is just a game where Momo could be in a really, really strong position, but he's kind of misreading how to win this game. Fast forward a little bit here, we're getting late. Osiris is kind of hard stuck in the Migdal here. He is gonna have a rough time getting out, I think. Yeah, so Son Osiris is a goner. We've got our Archer relic still sitting on the map. That's too bad. Plenty Vault's so good, but we do have a nice little trade route, but does not have the caravan upgrade. You gotta get the caravan upgrade. Got to. Trying to get this watchtower up, the upgraded walls. Oh, he's even getting the upgrade to upgrade the walls even more. Oh, it dies. This is where the Hippocon spam is so good. And yeah, it's just getting too greedy. Once he fought him off of here, you gotta just know your win condition. Gotta know your win condition. Yeah, look at all the armory technologies coming in. And we've got champion now. The Plenty Vault doing some work. That mine is now gone. Just wall this back off. Come down here. The trade route is doing pretty decent. Oh, we saw something get researched. What got researched? There we go. The Titan Gate. This should have been started a while ago. Now see, here's the nice thing about Eclipse. I think Joe is getting it. Is that there's a few different ways you can use Eclipse here. You could use it to stop the enemy from casting their Titan Gate. I would not suggest that though, because Ceasefire probably give the Greek long enough to get his Titan Gate built before the Titan can kill it. Yes, the path blocking is too good. It would never work. So here your Momo waited too long. He had an opportunity to get a Titan out without probably Joe really getting one. So we're going to have matching Titans. Momo will win with Eclipse. But that won't be enough to keep the town center down. Kill it and keep the town center down. So this is where you start playing the population game as the Ra, and you see these tents. Each tent gives 10 population. You gotta just get a rock, throw 4 catapults in a rock, hit the tents down, get yourself a population advantage. Defend your tents, get your population advantage, and you should be able to win that way. You could even maybe do a huge rock drop and get the Titan, the town center down, but that's the way. So this is a close game here, still. Joe is a little slow to get his trade going, but it is going now. Momo has done a good job of getting his trade route going, but he now has it upgraded and is empowering. Momo actually is showing some decent raw fundamentals here as far as what to do with his units and such, and kind of spreading the map a little bit. But we've got this side build here that could be scary. Unfortunately, a Tyroi with all of the building upgrades don't do as much, because the one building upgrade makes hack armor improved, and this 8% hack armor is huge against the Hatyroi. So we are going to have to fast forward this, and this could be a long one. I would like to see some docks and transports getting over to the other side of the land. You know, start covering the map with buildings. Oh, nice, nice. We've got some villager here has kind of snuck through and managed to get some buildings up. Momo has a lot of resources. Missing just the last upgrade. Joe also has a lot, and Momo building a wonder. This is also another way of winning this map. I kind of talked about that too. You're Titan into a wonder. Now the Pharaoh here is the real champion when it comes to wonder building, and Joe will probably not get this wonder up unless, but we need to get more villagers on this wonder though. Come on, get them down here. we need to see Joe walling off this side of the map, getting through here. So I'm gonna guess that the Wonder from Momo will get up first. Oh wow. This could have cost him maybe not pulling these villagers to build. Because Joe is considerably ahead, not considerably, but a good amount ahead right now. Let's see. He's 8,000 of 13, and he is 7 of 14. So we're halfway here, and more than half. This could be huge, not pulling the villagers, but we got the Pharaoh empowerment. This Wonder build speed will go up super fast now. We can see it's catching up. Oh, this is going to be close. I think Joe's got it. Oh, he even has the buildings faster. This is big. This is making the difference here for Joe. Joe's gonna win, isn't he? Oh, not pulling the villagers. Just a mistake just as small as that could have cost Momo the game. Yeah, it's gonna be like 2 seconds ahead. Wow. 6 seconds ahead. It didn't need to be. Just needed to pull these villagers. Just a huge unforced error. Huge unforced error. Well, don't use Eclipse yet. See, here's the thing, is that you can't just send your Titan in to kill the Wonder. Because path blocking and all that. There's still an avenue for Momo to get the Wonder down. It is really kind of a simple avenue. We use Eclipse. You needed to have a gate to retreat through, though. He needed to put up a gate to retreat through. Yeah, the spearmen needed to be down here to path block. Just gonna resign like that, huh? That's all the fight you got in you? You telling me you can't even send a rock with 10 catapults in? Did he really resign? You did all that just to quit like that? Jeez. That must have been what it was. How do you lose the Wonder Race with empowerment? But, like, it's not over. It's not at all. You put four siege workshops here and throw them in 2 rocks. You fly them up here, and you still have a good chance of killing this Wonder. Is it a cinch? No, but at least try. But yeah, that was embarrassing. That's too bad, because Momo actually was playing this decently, had a good setup. Had our Titan with the Eclipse, but didn't have any way to path block the Titan, so this Titan just runs away. And then the Eclipse gives him no value. And you have a ceasefire, which does cut off a minute of the wonder. So yeah, I mean, it would have been tough for Momo to do it, but you gotta try. Come on. But oh well. A little disappointing. Yeah, he's in a fine spot overall. But in the end, the big mistake, the blunder of blunders, was not sending more villagers over to build. I think he was just overconfident and that did not take into effect the upgrade here that makes Greek villagers build 20% faster. That's huge for the Wonder Race. Still not as fast as the Egyptian, but when you have like half as many villagers building, you're not going to build it faster. And just goes to show that in a game like this, there's so many things that happen through the course of a game. But so often you can go and look at one strategical decision-making blunder that costs the game. And it was this one. This was the one, and I ain't really strategical, kind of. It's just one blunder, one decision-making blunder that Momo did that certainly cost him the game. Because if he gets that wonder up first, I mean, it's not, again, does Joe just resign? Probably not. But does Joe have a really hard time getting in at the wonder? Yes. But we don't get to see that situation because Momo, unfortunately, did not put enough villagers onto it. But all right, well, that's going to be it for tonight. How many more games do we got? We've got just 2 more. Couldn't quite get to them. The last 2 sudden death games. No, there's just 1 more. 1, 2, 4. Let's just finish it up. Unfortunately here, Poseidon building spam for him. He is a player that is vastly outmatched. He is a 1600 Moobly player around there. So when you talk of skill, he is not a good player, which is okay. You don't have to be good. And we have Matrius, who is very good. Matrius got Thor, and Poseidon building spam got Poseidon, so at least he got that going for him. But we're going to fast forward because it's getting late, but we got one last game to go in this first round. So we might as well just see what happens here. At Ares, a little bit of a rough mining camp here. 5-minute advance, that's not bad, given the extra walk here. I don't mind Ares, though it's hard to argue with. Ooh, get on him. Oh, quite good. Okay. Ooh. I don't think he got that dock in on the Pestilence, did he? We got a forest fire coming for the Valk, and oh, this is rough. This map has some rough wood lines. Forest fire is really gonna hurt Poseidon building spam. But yeah, he's vastly outskilled, so he would need a miracle to win this game. Oh wow, the Valk dies before the wood can get off. But you can see poor Poseidon building spam. His goal here was to try to go with an Ares rush on the docks, but he was not able to stop this dock. And then when he used low pestilence, he missed the other dock, so he loses water. Has some raiding Hippicon here. Lost a lot of Hippicon there. Atreus is already considerably ahead, and it's probably gonna be a pretty straightforward game where just Atreus is just too good of a player for someone like Poseidon building spam. But you know, it's nice as a player that's not super good to be able to play in a tournament against a top player. Yeah, just get a little experience and see what it's like. And it's a quick loss. So what is it like when you play a top player and you are not one? Well, you probably lose fast, but it's the kind of stuff it's nice to get that out of the way. You know, get some tournament action in, be able to play against a really good player, and just kind of see how you fare and stuff to do. So yeah, that was a very quick little game. I figured we might as well I figured that's what would happen given the two players. But it just kind of goes to show you mess up on your early start. You're trying to kill the docks with Ares. You only get one dock, and then you're not. You just lose water. You lose water this side if you even ever had some. I think you maybe had a couple docks, and then you're just behind way too much on economy. And Matrius, at 13 minutes into the game, looks like he kind of knew how to play this map. He's already got a trade route going, so Matrius probably was going to, of all the players that we watched, probably going to play this map the best of everybody. So that's the first round of the tournament. We got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 games. What is this one? It's the same one? Yeah. Anyway, so that's the first round of the KeeN tournament. Let's take a quick look at the brackets. So this is our brackets. This is a one-day tournament. Each round has different rules, different maps. You can see them here. So first round, sudden death. Second round, team migration. That's fun. This should be some interesting games here too. Random God. So yeah, there's some luck to go into this. That's okay. That's fun. And then round three is when you have a best of three, and you can see there's some fun stuff going on here. Nomad, Thor only, Jotunheim, Mega Random. Sudden Death makes a return in round four. Vinland Saga. So this will be good. There'll be a lot of fun games to watch. I'm glad I was able to get through the first round tonight, so it was a fun set of games. I hope you guys enjoyed. Nice to have you guys in the chat. I don't think I said hi to Navjot Cyber, so hi to you too. Um, I think I also missed very early on. Someone subscribed, I think. Age of Jupiter subscribed, and I forgot to say thank you to Age of Jupiter. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate all you watching. When am I going to stream next? We'll see. I'm busy. I got kids. I got a wife. I got responsibilities. Um, Thank you for thanking me, Regula. You take care, and tell the wife that Age Mythology is awesome, and she should let you play as much as you want. That hasn't worked with me and mine, but oh well. All